In today's discussion, we will talk about how we can possibly publish well-cited papers. Warning: any discussion on such a topic has limitations, because the discussion is always constrained by his scope of knowledge and experience. What is presented here is based on my 30-plus years of experience of research and collaboration with colleagues from around the world. Now, why we want to publish well-cited papers? By training, I'm a mathematician, so publishing well-cited papers was never a concern, because in mathematics, we do not expect our works to get cited much within, say, 200 to 300 years. And until one day in 2013, the president-elect of the National Academy of Sciences congratulated me for my work being ranked the 6th most cited in the area of engineering, according to Thomson Reuters. Soon after that, I became the editor-in-chief of 3 book series and an international journal. Now, as the editor-in-chief of these publications, I'm required to look into issues related to impact factors. That is, how the works I publish or I help to publish get cited by other scholars. And only after I look into such issues, I realize that being well cited is very important for scholars in all disciplines, including mathematics. It is because citations by others really show how our work is making waves in the world of learning. Now, what do we do in order to achieve such end goal? If a citation is very important to us, then we need to do some or all of the following. First, we need to do our research as much as possible in a presently hot research areas. And secondly, we need to develop professional connections with as many scholars as possible, while sharing our works with these scholars. And thirdly, we need to pay attention on writing survey papers. Now, these suggestions I just listed here are really partially supported by Gregory Webster, a psychologist at the University of Florida at Gainesville. His work was mentioned in a Nature Journal's report. You can find this article at this link, where the article is about what a person can do possibly to get his work more cited by others. What Webster found is this: through looking at different journals and a large number of articles published over a long time scale, he found that a long reference list at the end of a research paper might be the key to ensuring that the paper itself is well cited. And he also found that this finding is especially true if he considered only papers published in Science magazine. This is understandable, right? If someone publishes in Science and listed many references, so whoever's work was referenced, they can be very proud their paper has led to such important publication even appeared in such a journal as Science. Now, hot area. Let's talk about hot area a little bit. An area is hot. It generally means attract a lot of attention. That also makes the area in return grow faster. And secondly, professional connections help attract people to our works, because just personally, a lot of associates know who we are. In terms of survey papers, because each of such paper organizes most important results in a schematic way, although these important results initially were published by different scholars in different places. When all these important results are organized into one paper, readers can readily see the overall landscape of the topic and important problems that needs to be addressed. So what we try to see here is this. If we write survey papers and want to be well cited here, first we need to provide an innovative way to thread results established by different authors together into an organic whole. And then along the process, we will present a lot of lines of logic thinking. And then along those lines, you can imagine there were some missing joints. So that means in our survey paper, other than organizing results together, we also need to pinpoint out what joints need to be filled in order to get this threaded whole as organic, as complete as possible. Now next, let's look at the subject on how we can find hot topics. Now there are a lot of places we can look into and get a feeling what is important. For instance, Science magazine, published by American Association for the Advancement of Science, is a good place. We can find what is considered hot by different groups of people. And Nature Journal, as published by British Nature Publishing Group, is another very good source. If we can regularly glance through Nature, then sooner or later we will get a feeling what is important in the current scientific community. And then there are other places we can look into. And for instance, we can look at sciencewatch.com by Thomson Reuters. And in this website, we can more vividly see what is really going on across different disciplines and publications, because Thomson Reuters rank, evaluate many journals published from all over the world. Now, after all we have discussed, we like to answer this question. What is really getting highly excited? In a hot area, the initial intriguing and thought-provoking results get the most citations. These results are the very reasons for the new discipline to emerge. So the key here are the words intriguing and thought-provoking. That these two phrases basically means if we can get the results, actually no matter which area we are in, as long as the results are intriguing, and excite the public or the scientific public, then we have a hope these results will lead to a very hot research area. But again, there is no guarantee good results will achieve such a status. One example come to mind for now is, for instance, game theory. Early publications have appeared way over 100 years ago. However, game theory did not really pick up steam until much later. So that means initially those scholars have established intriguing methods and thought-provoking results. However, they still did not live long enough, or they were unable to live long enough to see the daylight, that their works become a hot area and well cited. Another important aspect for a research area to become hot seems to be a wise choice of the key terminology. Meaning that when you do a research, you more or less have to involve certain important concepts. And then how and what words we use to name those concepts seems to be very important. For instance, the study of chaos is one such success stories. Chaos theory, let's look into a little more details. Now the theory is named chaos theory, so you would imagine the term chaos is very important concept in the study. And my research indicates that the term chaos is extremely well chosen. And the most intriguing results in the research of chaos theory include, of course, many results. But some of the results are very exciting to the public. For instance, the first result here is that nonlinearity implies naturally chaos. And that basically means as long as we study the nature, and as long as in our study we use nonlinear tools, then in our conclusions, most likely we will face chaos. And secondly, when a butterfly flaps its wings in Australia, that is really quite far from North America, this butterfly can cause a major thunderstorm in North America. And this is the well-known so-called butterfly effect. Just imagine how exciting this result could be to the public. And thirdly, what's very important out of chaos theory is weather and stock market are unpredictable. Just imagine. Because when we have disasters in the past, the consequences generally is quite disastrous. The reason is somehow our professionals just could not predict the weather or stock market crisis ahead of time. Okay, so that's one of the main reasons. Now, just imagine, look at the result. Nonlinearity implies naturally chaos. What does this result imply? Now, if man wants to find the secrets of how the world was created by using science, then this result basically means the man has to experience chaos. Why? Because almost all models people established to study natural events and processes are nonlinear. And that surely excites at least religious leaders. Now we can see why. Now, other than the result we just mentioned, other listed results in the previous slides also make all professionals who make their living by making predictions excited and at least very comfortable. By professionals who make their living by making predictions, I mean weathermen, stock analysts, etc. And many of these people know the things they try to predict seems to be impossible. However, chaos theory somehow indirectly provide the evidence why what they do is difficult. So why chaos theory make these professionals comfortable? Because in their careers, if they were ever wrong with their forecasts, that happens all the time and to many of them, then that is okay, right? Because even science says theoretically what they do is impossible anyway. So what do you expect if they were wrong with their predictions? Now let's think in a way parallel to what is just described in the previous two paragraphs. So by using parallelism, a natural direction of research seems to appear. This idea is, how about we establish results and collect observations to show how the chaos theory suffers from problems and challenges, so that this theory would not have much scientific and practical significance. Now, can we think this way? And if what the theory focuses on is chaos, then you would imagine the opposite concept would be what? Such thing as bios. So we naturally ask this question. Could we introduce a concept that is opposite or complementing the concept of chaos? And if yes, you can imagine we might strike it big in the world of learning, because chaos theory has been so hot and fascinating to the public. And as a matter of fact, such a concept named bios was officially introduced and well studied by quite a few scholars, such as my dear colleague Hector Sabelli. Because the bias theory, however, did not produce any result that excites the public as much as the results of chaos, Sabelli's work did not make nearly as much wave as the chaos theory. Now, other than the fact I just mentioned here, another reason why is because chaos really goes against the idea of science, right? Science basically says nature operates and governed by laws of physics. So that means everything should be moving in some kind of order, right? And chaos means all those traditional beliefs were incorrect. So that's one of the reasons why chaos theory is exciting to the public. Now let's look at the issue of significance of what's hot today. Now, in the world of learning, different hot topics emerge and fade out constantly. The situation is just like what happens in the fashion industry. What is in fashion today will be out of fashion very soon. And what's different here is many concepts and topics that are hot today will be out of fashion, no longer hot very soon. But many of these once hot topics would never come back, even though some such ideas really recycle throughout the history. One example coming to mind is the idea of atoms. Initially, many years ago, people think the world consists of atoms or made up of atoms. And then scholars proved, no, that's not the case. Many things were continuums. And then in recent years, we know, we come back to the original belief. The world is made of isolated particles, named as atoms, right? So based on these two facts about what's hot today in the science, so we can see that purely chasing after what is hot today could lead to long-term unsatisfactory performance in our scientific pursuit, because generally hot theories last about one generation, about 20-30 years. When next generation move into the scene, they will bring along with them what's hot again. Okay, so what's hot coming in would force what was hot yesterday out of the history. So after thinking like what we just presented here, we would think more clearly and logically. So we would ask such a question: what really makes a topic hot? Yeah. And when a topic is of the following characteristics: 1, it is readable by many people. 2, it challenges the accustomed to intuition. 3rd, it possesses a certain kind of beauty. And 4, it has a great potential for producing both theoretical and practical meanings, and those consequent results and consequences somehow can be applied. If a topic satisfies all these conditions, then the topic would very possibly become hot, until such a time item 4 turns out to be false or become a unfulfilling prophecy. All right, this wraps up our discussion today. Please direct your comments, questions to my email. I really love to hear from you. So don't forget, drop me a line, and I will discuss your comments and answer your questions in the following videos. Thank you very much.